we're going to take a look at the whole armor of God so we can understand how you play the game, how it works. So let's do it.
Here we are. We have got, obviously, the rules. You've got kind of two decks of cards. These are the player cards that you're trying to collect, these 6 pieces of the armor of God. And you can see each one has a point value here, 8, 7, etc. So the game basically just plays with addition, because you have your exercise faith cards here in the deck, so this one is worth 1. So you're going to add these up to 8 so that you can collect the Shield of Faith, etc. So here's a basic setup for a 2-player game. The cool thing about the armor cards are that they're double-sided, so that you've got male on one side, female on the other. Gets a little bit confusing. Obviously the helmet's an easy one to be able to tell, but the other ones, they can get a little bit confusing. Anyway, each player gets 4 cards. So we've got the draw pile here, and I've got my 4 cards here. You can see I've got a 1, 2, 3. Those are my faith cards I can play. I also have a fiery darts card. So, on your turn, you have 2 options. Number 1, play one of your faith cards down on the table in front of you so that you can start working to collect one of your armor cards. So let's say I put my 2 there with the breastplate of righteousness that requires 7. Then I draw a card. There's my first option. Your second option is, if you don't have anything you want to play, you can always just take 2 cards and discard those and draw 2 new ones, and then play passes. So, on each subsequent turn, you can choose to play on different pieces of armor or on the same one. And you just want to get these to add up exactly, without going over, to the required number there. So, once you have done that, then these faith cards are discarded, and you collect that piece of armor. And it goes on the table in front of you, and as you can kind of see, they fit together nicely to form your player, your person, all together, like so. So the first player to collect all 6 wins the game. Pretty simple. I guess the one thing we should mention is the fiery dart card. When this is played, so let's say I want to play this as my card that I play, I would say, well, in a 2-player game, obviously I'd be playing against the player across from me. So I would play this one has 4 darts on it, on them. Then what happens is, depending on the number of pieces of armor they've collected, so let's say they've got 3, so each piece of armor blocks 1 dart, leaving 1 dart that is unblocked, in which case you would need to discard one of the faith cards that you have played towards your other pieces of armor that you have yet to collect. So, you know, it might be a lot of faith cards you have to discard, or just a few, depending on the number of pieces of armor you've collected and the number of darts on the card. So basically you're adding and subtracting your way through the game, collecting pieces of armor until you've collected them all.
So there you have it, the whole armor of God. Hopefully that all made sense. Don't hesitate to email, post a question. You know, if it's not making sense, if you got other questions, please let me know.